How to become a superintendent. In this video, I'm going to take a little bit of a different path than I have in the past and give you the exact prescribed steps and really put some flavor on all of those. I'll also tell you what my experience is and some really key things that you want to watch out for. Do not do these things if you want to become a great So there's a difference between becoming a superintendent and becoming a good one. I'm going to talk about all those right now, so stay with us. Okay, so I'm stoked about this. I've done a lot of videos on superintendents. This one's going to be all new stuff. Let me tell you my story. So I was first in construction 13 and a half, falsified a work permit. I hope that the state of California doesn't fault me for that. And then just started working my way up. When I was about 19, I got a job at Hensel Phelps as a cement mason, joined the union, and made my way up through, I think, apprentice level 6 or something like that as a cement mason, and was on my way to becoming a journeyman. I regret that. I really wish I would have gotten all the way. But anyway, then got hurt my shoulder, got hired as a rodman. That's what they call the assistants to the field engineers. Then became an assistant field engineer, then worked my way up, okay? So didn't go to college, didn't have any kind of education background. It was all field experience. But the key is that I had the opportunities, right? I got in the door. My dad was a ready mix driver who is the truck boss, is what they call, for the plant. And the salespersons for Service Rock Products, where he worked, knew the folks out there, the prisons where Hensel Phelps was working, and was able to get me on, and so I had an in. People ask me all the time, how do we get in as a superintendent? Literally, you don't need to worry about the piece. No, hold on, stay with me. You don't have to worry about the piece of paper. You don't have to worry about experience. If you have an opportunity, you don't have to worry about, a lot of these technical details. You just need an in. I don't care if you have to start as a laborer, if you have to do multiple internships, if you have to beg, if you have to handcuff yourself to the owner of the company's car, whatever, you just need an in. I don't even care if you come in as a project administrator doing paperwork. Get an in, and then grind, and then go do things, and then learn them, and then prove your value. And you can work your way up to being, and I do say up because it is harder. I used to be a finisher and a cement mason and a form setter and an equipment operator and be like, those superintendents, they don't do anything. They just walk around all day. And boy, did I not know the mental stress and strain is 10 times anything that I ever had to deal with when picking up a shovel. In fact, most of the time in my role, I would literally rather shovel rock all day as fast as I can than deal with the mental stress. So it is working up, and you can work your way up to be a superintendent. Here are the key things. Let me give you some general parameters around this. The education is not important to be good. It may be important to get in. Do anything you can to get in. Whether you take the degree path or the experience path, do not become a superintendent that does not have experience as a field engineer or working with the craft. It will hurt you the rest of your career. So those are some high levels. Now I'm going to get into the specifics, and this is a bit different, but let's go through these one by one. Number one, experience and qualifications. I've kind of gone over that, but you can either get a degree in construction management, or you could do something like the certified construction manager certification with experience, or you can just do it with experience. Let's say you were a field engineer or a foreman or a surveyor or whatever the case, and you're able to come in. But the first thing you need to understand is how you get into the industry. Once you're in, you're set. Oh, real quick, I have one thing to say. I do not want this to bother anyone. I do not want to offend anyone, but I need to tell you this to help you out. Once you're in, if you're not progressing, it is you. You are either not grinding and not being a honey badger, not doing your job, not growing, you lack the capacity, or you got too good at one thing and now you're stuck. You take the average person in construction, once you're in, there's nothing that can stop you, and if you're stopping you, it's most likely you. I'm saying that to help you, okay? But the key is, one, get in. Number two, gain relevant experience, and I cannot emphasize this enough. If I could wave a magic wand, I would force, yes, you heard me, force every superintendent to be a field engineer for 4 years, meaning stay there, master lift drawings, master layout and control, master quality, master frontline safety management, master working with the craft, and get a lot of varied experience. I want these folks experience with excavations, foundations, superstructure, exterior envelope, interiors, commissioning, closeout, site work, the whole nine. I want that for people. And whether you're going to the superintendent path or the PM path, actually this video is about becoming a superintendent, so I will say you got to get that engineering experience, whether it's a FE or a PE or a field focus focused project engineer. Do not shortcut that. The longer you spend in a really good environment at that entry-level builder position, the shorter your path will be getting to where you want to go as a super. Number 3, develop key skills. As a superintendent, you have to have some fundamentals, right? And again, I will say you need to master layout and control and the concepts behind coordinate geometry systems. You need to master lift drawings and the ability to pull information from contract documents and put them into one location. You need to master safety. You need to master quality. You need to master the trade partner preparation process, all aspects of scheduling, and how to lead and build teams. These are core skills. Now let me talk to you about something that's a bit controversial. I value process over experience. I just want to be clear about that. I do think you need some experience, not what people typically ask, but I value the process more. Let me give you a little bit of an analogy. If you have experience with little process, you'll build the same thing over and over and you'll get stuck. If you have process with a little bit of experience, you can build anything because the process enables you to do so. So I want superintendents to be process-driven, process-oriented. I care more, does the superintendent know how to pre-plan? Does the superintendent know project management? Does the superintendent know how scheduling systems work? Does the superintendent know the last planner system? Does the superintendent know Scrum? Does the superintendent know these basics? In the next 5 years, I don't want to even hear of a superintendent that doesn't know how to project pre-plan, that doesn't know about TACT, that doesn't know about last planner, and that doesn't know about Scrum. We're done with this. This would be like a project manager that doesn't know how to write RFIs or submit submittals or do pay applications. It's just a part of your job. Number 4, and I cannot stress this enough, get industry specific training. You'll want your OSHA 10 or your OSHA 30 training. You'll want your dust training. You'll want your SWIP training. You'll want scaffolding training. You'll want shoring training. You'll want training on cranes and ordering the right type of crane and the right type of equipment and hoist for your project. You'll want training on production planning. You want training on last planner. You want training. Superintendents are professional leaders. You want training on communication. You want training on team building. This whole concept of I haven't read a book in 30 years and I don't go to training and I don't take my PTO is all garbage. That's how you spot a failure or a false superintendent. You need to go do your trainings every year. I want at least 2 to 4 weeks of training for superintendents. We should at least be spending $5,000 a year on it in addition to the money you spend internally. Last one is that's the same thing. Build a professional network, right? We network like we do on this YouTube channel. A superintendent needs to network, needs to build friends along the way, needs to have influence, needs to be in public company events because that individual will have to have influence to drive the job. And number 6, if you want to be a great superintendent, grab a Proficient mentor and learn everything you can. And if you don't have a mentor, then get a consultant. Check out the Elevate Construction podcast, read our books. You can get a mentor on a YouTube channel, on a podcast, through books, or real mentors in real life. You want to be a great superintendent, pick one that's successful, not the crusty, stubborn, can't even, put my belt on or clean my truck, don't use anything, keep everything in my head mentor, but a good real builder mentor. And if you do that, you can become a very, very successful superintendent. In the description below, I'm going to give you a beautifully formatted Canva graphic and invite you to reach out. If you ever want additional information, we're currently updating our superintendent board on Miro that has all these cool resources. If you need something, let us know. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.